go, Gomez. Let's embarrass ourselves. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Interview Pong.
Have you ever done this?
Never.
Great.
But I'm gonna try.
Just don't ask me something serious.
Right. So who were your inspirations as a kid? Like who'd you look up to in Hollywood?
It would probably actually be Hilary Duff. Because she was on Lizzie McGuire.
And so that makes me feel old.
What?
That makes me feel old.
Oh, sorry.
That's alright. And then who were your... Jeez,
I'm sorry. Okay.
So it's 6-31?
It's probably 20-31.
I'm keeping the score. So if you weren't in entertainment, what would you be in?
Professional ping pong player.
Clearly.
It's been said and done. Every beautiful thought's been already sung.
From Disney darling to pop princess, Selena Gomez is one of Hollywood's most in-demand talents. I met the actress and singing sensation when she was only 16 years old, and her career has skyrocketed since. Her platinum-selling singles, box office hits, and widely reported romances have made Selena one of the most talked-about performers in the business. I sat down with the 21-year-old to discuss her crazy journey through stardom and how it all began.
You are a successful singer, actress, philanthropist, designer, nail maker. I mean, the list goes on. And one of the things I've always noticed about you is that for being relatively young, you've got an unbelievable amount of maturity. And where do you think that maturity comes from? Does it come from how you were raised or just starting in the business early?
I think a combination of both, probably. When I started acting, I was 7, and I worked with adults, and you'd have to treat them with respect, and that's how I was raised. So I guess in a way I just grew up with that. And then once you start elevating it into where I've become now, it's just like you kind of have to be, in a way.
You grew up with different cultural influences from your parents. Your father, Mexican descent, your mother, Italian. How did those cultures influence you as a kid?
On my dad's side, it's really all about family. And it's like I should have kids now and be
I think you should wait.
Definitely going to. But I mean, they passed those traditions on to me that I'm really thankful for. And then on my mom's side, it was just more about just loving each other and food, because in the South we know how to get some good food. So.
And then there was a time when they split up. How old were you?
I believe it was about 4 or 5. It was kind of blurry.
What do you remember about that time?
It was confusing, just because I didn't really know what was going on, and plus my parents were 16 and 17 when they had me, so it was I never really understood it, and to be honest, I think I blamed my mom, and I just wanted a family, and then realizing growing up, my mom did all of the right decisions.
And at what point did you have that realization about your mom?
I'd have to say probably when she met Brian, which is my stepdad. It was really hard for me to accept my stepdad. I was still really young. I was 8. I wanted my family together, and then all of a sudden I just realized how happy my mom was, and Brian took on this dad role, and then I felt like I had the family that I wanted.
Tell me about the first time that you decided, said to yourself, you know what, I love to act, I want to act.
I think I always knew that I wanted to do it. Plus I was an only child, so I basically entertained myself. I was super dramatic and always wanted to put on a show for everyone. I actually held auditions for my friends and wanting to cast plays like my mom. I mean, my mom was probably a little bit of an influence in that because of the theater background. I loved watching her do her own makeup and run the lines in the mirror, and then she'd kind of notice and be like, oh Lord, she's going to be an entertainer.
Well, here's some mail from Mr. Boyd. And a postcard. To Barney and friends. From Colleen.
When you were doing Barney, you were also going to school at the time, right?
Yeah.
So you'd work, you'd go to class, you'd go to school. How were you treated by other students when you were on a show like that?
Yeah, that wasn't really fun. I mean, it was okay because I loved what I did, and I considered myself lucky, and I had my group of friends.
Right.
It was hard to be on a kids show and then going to school back and forth, it's, yeah, of course, it was such an easy target to make fun of me for. So, yeah, I dealt with it, but, I mean, look at where I'm at now. So.
I was going to say. And then came this unbelievable opportunity and world through Disney.
Yeah.
Which I would imagine you would say was a breakthrough for you.
Well, the interesting thing with the channel was that I auditioned with them when I was 11.
I say life should be like an arcade machine. You have the rules right in front of you. Bing, bang, boom.
I had done 3 pilots for them, and they didn't get picked up. So, in a way, I kind of felt discouraged. And then I got Wizards.
Thank you so much, everyone, for coming to my quinceañera. I just love saying my quinceañera. Everyone, all together, my quinceañera.
And then I remember stories of all the girls that were working in the Disney world, and they would like to write that all of you had issues with each other, and there was drama with all of you. Was that true, or was that made out to be more than it was?
It's like high school. I mean, that was my high school. When you're in that group and you're all shooting on the same lot, and then you have Demi, and then you have the Jonas guys, and then you had Miley, and you had all of that. It's not really like brain science where kids were growing up, we're figuring everything out, and yeah, of course, we had our moments.
Right, what were some of the most memorable career moments that were sort of those life-changing times for you?
Being on the show was definitely an important part, and then when music kind of happened, it was a huge deal to me.
In 2009, Selena Gomez and her band The Scene released their debut album, Kiss and Tell, to fans around the world. At only 16 years old, the singer's star power grew with a hit show on Disney and a platinum-selling single.
You took a big leap with that record specifically, and one that was a little bit risky, because would you be accepted in this world of pop music on the pop charts? Were you ever worried about that or nervous about that?
Yeah, music's a lot more intimidating than the acting side of the industry for me. I'm just still kind of doing my thing and trying to, make great music, and yeah, of course, I was intimidated.
And because you were doing so much, did you ever feel like you missed out on doing normal things that normal kids get to do?
I guess, but I don't really regret that. There were definite weekends where I could go to the beach and have sleepovers with my friends. So I had those moments. I think I had enough of them, to be honest, because I do enjoy this, and I don't regret wanting to live a different lifestyle.
Coming up, Selena shares with me the difficult side of fame.
It gives me anxiety. It's not something that I'm really like